We have anybody signed on?
Hannah Poland, the newspaper. Hannah.
Can she talk to us?
If I allow her to,
Allow her to.
she can talk to you.
Hi, Hannah. If you can hear us okay, would you let us know?
She may not be able to, she may not have the ability to talk back.
She might have it unmuted on her end.
I mean, she's unmuted right now.
Yeah. Right.
And the microphone is showing it's picking everything up.
Okay.
I've got it up here and I'm looking at it right now. Sound bars are moving back and forth, so it's showing it's picking.
Okay.
We adjusted the sensitivity on it. Hopefully it's picking things up. If not, we're going to get an external off on the table.
All right. And I will call the meeting to order for July 14th, 2020. Would you please stand for a moment of silence? Thank you. Would you please join in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Roll call.
Trustee Sheets. Here. Trustee Hunter.
Here.
Here.
Okay, and we didn't have any minutes. It's been, seems like it's been so long since the last meeting. I will make a motion to pay our expenditures. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Roll call.
Trustee Sheets.
Yes.
Trustee Hunter.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, we will move on to visitors. All right. Would you like to?
Yes, absolutely.
You can sit right there if you want.
Do I need to be on the?
His voice will be on there. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Physically be on there.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for allowing us to be here. We represent a company called Dam Schroeder Roofing, and my name is Jamie Leonetti. My first name is spelled Jamy, and my last name is Leonetti. My business card is in each one of those folders there with my information, email address, cell phone number. This is Stephen Arp. Stephen is the one who came out and measured the roof originally with Chief Taylor and got the information we needed to provide you guys with a professional proposal. So our purpose, obviously, in being here is to address the living quarters / conference room office roof area, which is the metal roof that is in pretty rough shape. And so we would like to start off with a little bit about who we are as a company. We've been in business for 46 years. We have an incredible reputation throughout the state of Ohio. We strive on workmanship, relationship, as well as quality in the products that we put down. And we are a platinum contractor with the manufacturer that we are offering to you guys today as far as the single ply roofing system. And in order to achieve that platinum status, we have to rate from a 96 to 100% on every one of our installations that we do. And so we do a lot of commercial work. We do a lot of industrial work. We do service and repair work. We're all over. We've been around a long time. So we're very professional. Our crews are very professional, and we have really, really good installs. So with that said, what I'd like to do is I gave you guys a packet of information that does have our capabilities statement, the type of work that we do. You know, we do a lot of government, state work, school work, private business work, industrial work, the list goes on. We do a lot of work with the Ohio Department of Transportation, the Ohio Turnpike Commission. We've done a lot of fire departments over the years that we've been in business as well. So this is not a new fire department for us to do as far as a roof goes. I also put in samples of the membrane. There's a 50 mil sample, a 60 mil sample, and then we obviously stamp the Ohio State emblem on our, which we're proud of. We love to put that in that packet of information. And I also provided you guys with the spec sheets on the products that we're recommending, or the product we're recommending, just in 2 different thicknesses. And so please feel free to ask questions as we go, because tonight the idea is for me to kind of walk you through the scope of work. I want to walk you through the pictures, the existing roof pictures, show you guys the problematic spots, what's going on with the roof, why you guys have active leaks or leaks in the building at times, and then give you guys the solution that will remedy this roof for the next 25 to 30 years. All right. So if you have questions, feel free to ask me as I go through this. So I gave each of you a stapled pack, and if you flip past the capabilities statement and go to the proposal portion, you'll see the date that originally was given to Chief Taylor on March 11th, 2020. We updated everything officially as of yesterday, but put today's date. Pricing didn't change from the original price, so we've kept the price. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through the scope of work. But you know what, actually, before I do that, let me give you a little bit of background of the product itself. So the product that we're recommending is called Duralast. Okay, they've been around since 1978. They originally were, when John R. Burt originally started the roofing side of this, he was actually in the pool liner business. And he figured if he can keep water in, he can keep water out. So they developed the roof system in 1978. And it has been around for many, many years. And we've actually been installing this system since about 1982, 1983. So we're very familiar with this product. The great thing about this is that it is 86 to 88% reflective. It is white. So that metal roof that you have up there right now is actually bringing a lot of heat into the building. So it's increasing your air conditioning costs. Putting that white roof on will actually take 88% of the heat away from the building, helping with your cooling costs, okay? The other thing is we're actually putting insulation down in the panels. So you're going to gain some R value as well, which is going to help with your heating costs in the wintertime. So it is chemically resistant. And this is the only system that is actually flame retardant on the market because of the chlorine content that is in the material itself. It does have a weft inserted scrim in between the millage thickness. With the 50 mil, it's 26 mils on the top, and the rest of the mils are underneath that weft inserted scrim. And what that weft inserted scrim is designed to do, it's interknotted, which gives its durability and strength for puncture resistancy. And it's very, very hard to put a hole in this in the membrane. You really have to, like, you know, throw a screwdriver at it or a knife and really try to puncture the heck out of this. So like I said, it's reflective. It's got UV enhancers in it. And so it's a very, very good product. The way that we put this down is we actually mechanically fasten it. So everything, the sheets are about, they're 10 foot wide, 12 foot wide, and they're 100 feet long. And then there is a tab every 10 feet that we actually put a plate and a screw. And that plate actually interlocks into the actual plate itself. It'll snap. So the screws can't backtrack. And then these teeth go down into the insulation. You don't see the screws. Everything is still flat to the roof. You don't see the dimple of the plate. It all sinks down. And then each seam, we actually hot air heat weld. So everything is mechanically fastened. We don't use any glues. We don't use any open flames, no torches, anything like that. This is not a hot mocked roof or anything like that. And everything is hot air heat welded. So we actually chemically bond the seams together and they become the strongest point of the roof. Most systems that are out there, like black rubber, EPDM, they actually use glue and they'll glue the seams. Well, buildings expand and contract, temperatures change, and with a building moving, the roof is moving too, and seams around your stack penetrations, curbs, things like that, those start to peel apart, and then you have maintenance and you have to come back and seam strip those seams. With the Duralast roof system being hot air heat welded, that is not an issue at all. So any questions so far? That's a little bit about the Duralast roof itself.
How does it connect to, like, the exhaust pipes?
Okay, good question. So what we did right here is any penetration that's coming through the roof,
Can I set it on the table for you?
Duralast actually they prefabricate all the curbs and stack flashings in the plant. So our project manager would come out and get final details of the roof. He'll get final measurements of all your penetrations, your curbs, your exhaust coming through the roof. And then we CAD draw it and we order all the materials to fit your roof. They'll, excuse me, they will make the curb, they will make the round stack penetration with a heat welded skirt, which is this skirt right here. So if this is a round stack coming up, it's the same thing. You'll have membrane coming up, and then we use a binding strap caulking around the top, and we seal the top, and then this skirt gets heat welded to the deck membrane. So it seals that curb, it seals that stack penetration, actually better than what you actually have up there right now, because actually one of the stack penetrations that are up there is busted, and the rubber boot on the bottom of it is torn. So you have active water getting through that boot right now during a rain. So does that answer your question? Okay. So as far as your roof goes, what I was planning on doing is where it says investigation and assessment, I'm going to walk you through this. If you have any questions regarding the scope of work, I'm just going to kind of walk through, and then I'll show you the pictures, which you guys all have copies of the pictures of the existing issues as well.
What page is that?
It should be right before, yep, one more. Yeah, you can't lick your fingers anymore. So right under investigation and assessment, the existing roof system consists of a standing metal seamed roof. The existing roof is severely aged with rust and loose fasteners due to the expansion and contraction. The existing gutters and downspouts are corroded as well. The existing coping metal is aged and has started to peel off from the parapet. It is also in need of replacement. It's highly recommended that this roof be retrofitted with a new DuraTough PVC roof system to eliminate any more damages to the roof and continued leaks. So one of the things that you'll notice if you flip to the pictures before I actually go into the remedy part of this, the scope of work, there are the coping metal, the joints are loose, the fasteners are coming out. It's completely aged and rusted. You're going to have water penetrating through the top of that coping. There are screws into the actual metal roof that are either missing, loose. A lot of times somebody will come up and try to repair a metal roof, and they'll put new grommeted screws in with these little rubber seals, but they rot over time. And they even try to coat roofs, which coatings aren't bad, but they're more of a temporary repair. What we're doing is giving you a fix for 25 plus years to where you walk away from this, it's done. Okay, your leaks are resolved as far as the roof is related. The gutters, anytime we're installing a new roof, these gutters do have rust. They are leaking. We want to replace those gutters and those downspouts as well. If you look on the second page or second page of the photos, there's a boot at the top left corner that actually has a crack in the rubber seal of the bottom of that PVC boot. If you can see that crack in there, that is an active leak when you have rain. The coping metal you'll see along the perimeter edges, you can see that the joint from the coping metal is sticking up. The fasteners are loose. You've got rust along the panels, screws missing in the panels. The list just goes on. This roof is in a position to retrofit, which is what we're planning on doing. So we don't take the metal roof off. If you actually get a quote for a metal roof, it's 3 times more expensive than what we're giving you. So this is a very common remedy that has been around for many years that we call retrofitting. And so what we do is we actually take insulation and we fill the flute of the panels. So this is a flute right here. This is the low flute up to the high rib with insulation to where the insulation meets that high rib. And then there's another 1.5 inch part of that combo board that is attached to it that goes over the top of that then we put our membrane over the top of that. And now you've got the metal's basically encapsulated at that point. And now we've got a nice smooth surface of white membrane that's encapsulating the entire roof. Okay. So going back to the proposal, any questions so far?
Yes,
Go ahead.
the insulation, is that rigid? What if people were walking on it after this is that completed?
So it's pound and a quarter nominal density. So it's a very firm board. It's expanded polystyrene, and it's I think the thickness on this is 3.5 inches thick, and you're actually gaining a 15.3 R value, and so that is walkable. Absolutely, we put this insulation board down all the time, and we have high traffic roofs that walk on this type of material.
But I was just curious, as the person walked, if they were going to sink.
No, nope, not at all. It's very firm. They can walk on it, no problem. So our proposal is this: we're going to remove and dispose of all the existing gutters, the downspouts, the coping metal around all the perimeter roof edges. And then we're going to install the pound and a quarter nominal density, 3.5 inch expanded polystyrene combo board over the entire existing metal roof. Your R value is 15.3, so you are gaining some decent R value that will help with some heating costs there. And then we're going to install a DuraGuard XPS separator sheet on all parapet walls to flush those parapet walls out. So this is what DuraGuard looks like. And this actually goes on the wall, and then we actually run our membrane up and over to the outside. So we're encapsulating not only the wall, but the top of the parapet as well. So currently right now where that coping cap is, you probably have water intruding into the joints of that coping cap. Our membrane is actually going to go up and over, so we're addressing the tops of the parapet walls, where some companies will actually just terminate on the inside of the parapet wall, and then they leave the rest not addressed.
Explain to
So,
me what a parapet wall is again.
so
Above the roof.
this is what a parapet wall looks like.
Okay. Like
And basically,
What
they're
on-
designed to
on our-
hide all the units.
on one of our pictures.
Okay. So, yeah, like right here. That's a parapet.
Oh,
See, it's
okay.
got tile on top of it.
So that
It's,
go completely over
that
that?
is correct. So that's a vertical parapet that comes up, comes across that coping, where that coping is going to be removed. We're actually going to be putting new 2x wood blocking to flush the top of that out. We run our membrane over that wood blocking, we tack it, and then we put a new metal edge on the outside. It would look like this. Which will look like
Oh,
this
okay.
without the
It won't be just-
wrinkle.
it won't be
Yeah,
just that.
and it'll actually be a little bit wider than that. So this is just an example piece, and you guys actually get to pick the color that you want for your downs, your gutters, and your metal trim. So we'll install wood blocking along all the perimeter roof edges for proper securement and installation and height increase. So even at the gutter edge, there's going to be a wood block because we are increasing the height by 1.5 inches on the high rib. That wood block will run against that insulation. And then we're going to put a new custom gutter that will be a flange gutter that will go over the top of that. So instead of having a straight back gutter where you get snow and ice building up in that and it can get behind the straight back, this is actually a complete solid flange gutter, so no water can get in behind that gutter. Okay? So we have to tie in to one of the parapets with siding clips, and it's just a standard procedure spec requirement by Duralast. So there's a wall, I think, along here that has a vertical wall siding. And in order to run our membrane up, we have to use these siding clips to terminate that properly. And then we fill it with caulking, and it addresses that whole area along that wall.
How long will that caulking?
For the life of the roof.
Well,
Oh yeah, it's
guaranteed.
very good caulking.
Well,
Yeah.
as the membrane.
Yep. This is a 20-year, and I'll get to that here in a second, but it is a 20-year warranty that covers our workmanship and the material for the full 20 years, and it's non-prorated,
including the accessories like the caulking.
including the two-piece compression metal, the gutters, all of that. And actually, the Kynar finish on the metal is good for 30 years. Okay. So at this point, we'll install the new white 50 mil DuraTough over entire roof deck, up and over all parapet walls for complete encapsulation, including all necessary vents, flashings, and terminations per the manufacturer's specifications. And then we'll install a 6-inch two-piece compression metal at all non-gutter perimeter roof edges. So anywhere there's not a gutter and we're going up and over where the coping used to be, you're going to have a new 6-inch two-piece compression metal that aesthetically will look really, really nice, and it will be wrapped and encapsulated with the membrane. So you don't see the membrane from the outside too, just so you know. That's completely underneath the metal, and it's on the roof. It's not
Like what
on
we
the
just showed
outside.
us.
Correct. So all you're going to see is the metal in the gutter. Unless there's an area of the roof that you can stand in the parking lot and look up the roof, then you can see the white membrane, and that's okay. And then we'll install new custom commercial flange gutter, 24 gauge and 4x4 downspout. You guys would select the color that you want. And then pretty much after the work is complete, our own job site foreman will perform an inspection of the new roof. He probes all the seams, they clean up, they make sure that everything is per Duralast specs. And then what's really nice is that the manufacturer will send a tech rep out, and they actually inspect our work that we do and put their stamp of approval. And if there's anything that we need to fix, we fix it before the warranty is even issued. And so it's not common that we have to go back and make corrections, but we're not perfect. But we make those things right before the warranty is issued to you, because the inspector from Duralast is checking everything, and we get graded. They actually send us a report and a grade on how we do. So our goal is to do well for all of our clients and our customers. And that's why we are at that platinum status. And so that's very, very, very important to you, and very, very important to us to accomplish that. If you flip to the next page, number 10, this is where I talk to you guys about the 20-year warranty. That does cover workmanship. It covers material. It is non-prorated, and it's good for 20 years. Now, this does not cover a tornado or an act of God or anything like that. That would be more of an insurance claim. If you do have a third-party company that gets up there and replaces a motor and exhaust or something, and they puncture the membrane, call us, and we'll just come out and patch it, and then you can send the bill to the person who punctured the membrane. But it's very hard to puncture the membrane, so they really have to be beating it pretty hard to do it. We have about 3,948 square feet of roof area that we're covering, and we've got 4,834 square feet of membrane going down. We always have more membrane because of the laps, the parapet walls going into the gutter. There's always more material to cover that roof than the actual roof deck itself. This would take us probably 5 to 7 days to do the work. No permit fees are required. We've already checked on that. We don't have to have a permit to install this roof here. And then we gave you guys two options. You've got some conduit gas line that's up there. There's like 52 feet of it that's kind of rusted. Commonly, we will paint that safety yellow and prime and paint that. And that would be an option of $227 added to the cost of $36,152. Okay. The second option would be to go from 50 mil to 60 mil. And I'll explain the difference here. Now you're talking 35 mils on the top side, and the rest of the millage of that 60 mil on the bottom side in between that left inserted scrim. The difference between the two is you're gaining 4 to 5 more years of life by moving to the 60 mil over the 50 mil. So, and that's an additional $894. To me, for 4 to 5 more years, it's worth the $894. And this is me not upselling it. I'm just giving you guys the option. You can do what you want with this. But if it were my roof, I would put 60 mil down, because I want that extra 4 to 5 years, which will probably get me to 30 with a 60 mil. Any questions so far?
What's the longevity of any roofs that you have out there now?
We have a tan color that we have put on many, many times, and that has exceeded 30 years at 50 mil and 40 mil. Now, we don't install 40 mil anymore. The industry standard has kind of moved to the 60 mil mark. We used to provide 15-year warranties. The industry has moved to 20-year warranties now. So we're kind of staying with the industry. There are other warranties available, but there's things that you have to do different on the roof to achieve a 25 or a 30-year warranty. You get into a 30-year warranty, now you've got to do a hard dense deck board, you have to go to 80 mil. And so there's things that you have to do in order to go to that. But with this roof here, you guys will be set with 60 mil for 25, 30 years easy. And the nice thing about this system is it literally is probably the most maintenance-free system you'll see out there. There's nothing that you have to do. You don't have to coat it at all. Now, obviously, after 25, 30 years, when it starts to thin out a little bit, then yes, we can come back and we can coat that roof and get you guys good for 10 to 12 more years.
When you say coat, is that?
That's like a silicone based or an acrylic type coating that we put down. We paint roll it on, and we basically put a coating over the top of the membrane, and that locks you in, and there's a warranty that can come with that. So we do coatings as well. We use more of those for more temporary repairs and extending the life of a roof for a short period of time, where with metal roofs, the problem is with expansion, we just see screws just constantly backing out, water running down the panel, going through the hole where the screw's at, and you end up getting, these leaks around the inside of the building. So it's a very common practice that we've done for many years. I did give you guys an option here, which you don't have to take. These are just options. We do a 45-point inspection. We can do this annually or biannually. And if we do it annually, it's $350 for us to basically come out and do a 45-point inspection on the roof, check everything, make sure everything's good. I personally, as small as this roof is, I don't even recommend it. I don't even think you need it. But we put this in our bid just because it's there to offer it to you guys. But I have been around a long time doing this stuff, doing this kind of roofing. We don't have these kinds of issues where you have to. Now, typically, this is more like somebody who's got a lot of trees around the building. They've got debris that gets up on the roof. A lot of this applies to more of us. We're checking HVAC units with screws, hex heads that are missing in the panels because they've taken the panels off. They've left trash up on the roof. We're cleaning gutters out, whirly twirlies, the list goes on. That's kind of more what we focus on, but we do check everything. We clear the drains out. If you have a drain, which this roof doesn't have a drain. And I think where this is located, you don't have debris that's getting into the gutter anyway.
The worst thing that gets on the roof is once in a while we'll do ladder training. The guys will climb up there, and that'll be about it.
There you go. So, and that's not even an issue at all. So that's there as an option. And there's a bronze, a silver, and a gold option. The silver and gold gives you 2 visits per year. The bronze gives you 1 visit per year. And as you move up into the silver and gold, that also comes with repair. If there's anything that has to be addressed, we cover it up to a certain amount. But again, I don't think it's necessary. That's just my opinion. Any questions so far? I don't want to be going too fast.
The lumber that you would put on the parapet wall, is that treated lumber or is that street?
It is not treated. It's non-treated because it's underneath the membrane. It's completely buried and encapsulated. And that's all we've ever used, and we don't have problems with it at all. So this is the official proposal, okay? And I did put a thank you letter to all of you in the beginning. Obviously, it's addressed to Chief Taylor because this is kind of who we've been talking with. Our capability statement is in here, which you guys have a copy of this. We also have the 45-point inspection in here and on the back of that, it talks about everything that we would do if you choose to do an inspection with us. We also put our Platinum Contractor Award in here and our relationship with Duralast. So this talks about who we are and our relationship with Duralast. And same thing with this Chairman Award. So we as a company are very well known with Duralast. We've been around with them for a long time. And they really, truly do appreciate us as a contractor because of the quality of work that we do. We don't cut corners. When we look at a roof, we're addressing everything. We're going up and over. We're addressing any potential leaks that could be on that roof.
To be a platinum contract, you have to be the top 3% or higher in the country. And we are in that top 3% in the country with Duralast.
How long has Duralast been in business?
Before 1978. They started the roofing in 1978. John R. Burt has passed. His wife is still alive, still living. She's 90, 93, 94, something like that. And she still speaks at our seminars. They put her on camera, and it is a wonderful thing because it was a family business. And John R. Bird, again, we still have the pool liner side. They still do the pool liners, but he just transitioned to roofing and thought, man, if I can keep water in, I can easily keep water out. Now there's other roof systems out there. Don't get me wrong. There's black rubber. I don't recommend black rubber. It pulls 100% of heat into the building. It's glued. You're going to have maintenance issues. We don't install black rubber. I'm not saying it's a bad system. I'm just saying that you're going to have more maintenance. You're going to have more peeling around the stacks and curbs on the roof. There is also TPO that's out there. I don't recommend TPO on this roof because you have a food exhaust up there, I think, from the kitchen. Is there an exhaust up there from the kitchen? There's no exhaust up there from the kitchen. I don't know what that exhaust is. There an
The
exhaust?
exhaust I think you're seeing is for the apparatus bays. Is it a big round?
There's one which is actually I believe it is from the kitchen. It might be from your stove pulling grease out, and it's actually stained your roof brown.
All right, then.
So the point in that is you want to put PVC on your roof because PVC is designed to be chemically resistant to fatty greases. That's why on all restaurants we put PVC Duralast down. If you put TPO or EPDM up on those kinds of roofs, it actually eats the membrane and exposes the scrim over time. So that was one reason why we recommended the PVC, because of that exhaust that's up there. So also, as I go through this, we did put beyond the pictures, we put in some project references. All right. We put in school references, church references. We do a lot of church work. So, and I also put a lot of testimonials in here from our customers. We send out a testimonial, which is what you guys would get as well. When we're done with the job, you guys get the before pictures and the after pictures, and a thank you via email. It'll probably go to Chief Taylor, and a link to click onto a questionnaire to do a testimonial for us. And those are very, very important. We want to hear the negatives. We want to hear the positives. And these are the responses. And we try to keep these current and replace them so that these are most recent jobs of completed jobs that we've done. And we even put comments in here that might be negative because we want to grow from that. I did put a copy of the sample warranty in here. So here's a copy of the 20-year, no dollar limit warranty, non-prorated. And then behind that is our certificate of liability insurance. Our A+ rating with the BBB. Our workers' comp. And then here's a safe materials list of all the products that the Duralast roof system is chemically resistant to. And then I don't know what your color scheme is on the outside, but there is your color chart of the colors that you guys can select for all of your edge metal. And that's it. Any questions?
I just noticed on that second page under alternate 2.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's a typo. It says install 0.060 mil. It should just be 60 mil, right?
No, that's how we do it.
Oh,
It's still 60 mil.
okay, because 50 isn't done that way. That's why I wondered.
Yeah, on the front, it says 0.050 mil.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how it comes actually from Duralast too. So we actually put that O in there. That's how we always put it. So no, it is definitely 60 mil, trust me. Yeah, your samples actually that are in your folders represent the thickness of the two options. 50 mil, 50 mil is the base.
Question. I've had the same question before.
Pardon?
I've had the same question. I've typed up proposals and I'm like, I feel like this 0 shouldn't be here. But it is.
I think
It's how they've done
the
it.
same way though. Yeah. Okay.
So this is the official copy that I can give to you folks. And again, I don't know if you have any questions.
I got a question. You already said there's water coming through the roof.
Yes,
Metal roof.
correct.
You're gonna cover it and seal it. What what's to stop the rest that's already starting, that's already there, continuing to degrade under your seal?
That's a great question. So every 1,000 square feet, we install what's called a breather vent. And that breather vent is designed to help with wind uplift and to help dry out what may be underneath. Now, commonly, if we're going over not a metal roof, but a regular roof, like a built-up, modified, torch down EPDM, if the roof is soaked and we're coring the roof and we're wringing water out and it's wet, we're tearing all that off. But when we're dealing with standing metal seam roofs, we don't take the metal off. We will actually still retrofit it. And every system that we do with Duralast gets a breather vent every 1,000 square feet. So this roof will actually get 4 breather vents installed. And that will help with what you're talking about.
Mold also.
I can't speak for mold on the inside of the building,
Well,
but I can speak for underneath the metal panel. It will definitely dissipate over time. Okay?
We've already had a mold inspection done, so we're good there.
I thought you said you had it.
It's not, we probably have mold, but it's not dangerous.
I was just wondering, because it's already rusting, and the water's already in there, you're sealing,
Probably picture of one.
where's it gonna go?
Yeah, good question.
Yeah, we have retrofitted for, oh my gosh, many years. That's never been an issue. Matter of fact, when we're done with the roof, the leaks stop. Commonly, if we're going over a roof that has 20% moisture, we're going to replace those wet spots, fill those voids back to level with polyiso insulation, and continue across the roof. If there's the slightest drip of moisture somewhere, it's going to be gone. It's going to stop because we've encapsulated that whole roof. So that will not be an issue.
And to
So
answer
that's a
your
good question.
I don't doubt, I'm not doubting, I'm just like thinking, well, you already said there's water there, so.
Well, but the water,
Still, it has
yeah.
a way to, you know what I mean?
yeah,
And to answer it perhaps a little bit, I was an installer for 2 years, and so I've had a lot of hands-on experience with it. If it is very severe rust, we actually do a paint coating which neutralizes the rust. If it's only surface rust, we've never had a problem with it continuing to eat through, since most of the time, if it's raining, we're not going to be installing. There to help you guys and to keep our guys safe. So it'll be dried out. You don't have to worry about it spreading. If that helps answer it anyway.
Sure. But
any other questions?
I don't have any.
Good.
Okay,
All right, well,
thank you very much, yeah.
Thank you.
I'm assuming we'll be in contact with you or,
Yeah, I wouldn't expect a decision from them tonight.
oh yeah, no,
They'll make some discussion, and our next meeting is the 28th, so
Okay.
that would be the soonest there would be a decision made.
okay,
And actually, we have a budget meeting on Thursday, so we'll have a good picture of what's going on. So
okay. Yeah, if any.
that would be the soonest.
If any other questions come up after we leave that you guys have thought about, just email me. And I'll answer those questions. We'll provide you with any additional information that you guys need or want. Yeah, I mean, give us the opportunity. I think you guys will see very good results. Okay,
Appreciate it.
thank you very, very much. Yeah,
Yes.
thank you.
Very nice presentation.
Thank you.
All right.
Have a great evening.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it again.
Okay, we'll move on to department reports. I don't think we heard back from the deputy. Nope. So we'll move on to road department. Greg,
all right, I stay here, or you want me to come up?
where's that microphone at?
It's on the speaker. He was picking it up, so Hannah said she could. I text Hannah. She actually answered me. She said she could hear everything.
Good.
Let's-
You want to sit up there?
Okay, so we've completed the second round mowing of the roads. And we also had a pretty good sized tree fall in Chenoweth Cemetery that we've gotten cut up and removed. And there was also a giant tree on River Street. There was one that fell and then we had one cut, and they've all been removed and taken away. And the only thing, other thing he has here is we're starting to get caught up on jobs that they fell behind on. So
How's your new part-timer working out?
he's doing all right. He's doing good. He's eager to learn. He's doing good.
Good.
I told him today he doesn't have to sit out in his car and eat lunch. and come in fire
I
once.
told him to come in. There's actually air conditioner in there, and he, I don't know. So, but he's doing well. He's learning, and we've been catching up rapidly. So it's helped.
Well, are you aware of the flooding problem there on Alkire by the bike trail? It's been an ongoing talk. If you want to, towards the railroad tracks, towards Seaman Road.
Yeah.
If you want to just pass on to Robert, I did see those neighbors
Mhm.
and ask them, because I've not seen any water back there. But they said those 2 real heavy rains we had, they said it was actually worse than they've ever had. It came closer to their house, but it left pretty rapidly. They said like in 2 days.
You get that much rain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just wanted to pass that on. And I received a call today from Laura with Buckeye Cremation by Scheddinger about our indigent burial.
There's a check in there tonight.
Okay, that's what she wanted to know. I will call her in the morning and let her know that. And do you want to pass on to Robert that vegetation at Georgesville Community Club was cut today?
Good. We did the circles around. Just to kind of keep it under a little bit, but we were wondering about that.
Now it's all cut.
Okay.
All right. Anything else, Greg? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. On to Chief.
All right. For the month of June, we had 118 runs. So far in July, we've had 51, so we're on pace to have another busy month. A few minor maintenance things. All American did is button some things up on the engine that they've been kind of minor stuff that have been kind of festering since the COVID began. They weren't sending people out except for big major things. On engine 2, on the Pierce, I did talk to, I talked to Pierce after I completed this today, and I didn't feel like printing another one. So we're still at the same timeline. The gentleman we met with has been dismissed, is what I was told. Jeff, the guy that we met with. So the Keith Puckett's is the gentleman's name I'm working with now. He was at Finley today. I guess he's a regional manager, sales manager. So he's checking with some people. He was hoping to call me back this evening before the meeting. I have not heard from him, obviously. So, but the timeline is still the same on that truck. So we're still looking at 12 to 13 months at this point before it even goes up there, and then they'll have it for another month to 2 months. So I'm still working on that. They were looking at possibly sliding us into an available slot if they have one, but as of this point, without some confirmation from somebody at the refurb shop, if you remember, Ed, when we met with him here, he talked about an outside vendor doing that work. They've not successfully been able to do that. So that's what's causing this long delay. So I am still looking at other options. If one becomes available, I'll let you know. So Medic 2, we had a little minor taillight issue, which was fixed really easily with some clips from Portland. The door locks have been changed. Ed, you probably noticed that tonight when you came in. but they've both been put on. MSAR was here to maintain our pots. Our rescue scheduled on the 22nd to do the tool maintenance on the hydraulic tools. We sprayed the weeds today, and we're also discussing some landscaping options for the building as well. I do have several requests this evening. The first involves the finalization of our 2019 AFG grant. I'm going to ask you to pass 2 resolutions to purchase additional hose nozzles and appliances. We have about $7,209.49 left over in our account. We need to expend those by September, which is the 1-year performance for the grant. So the first resolution I would ask you to pass is a resolution to purchase nozzles and appliances as listed on the attached quote, which is behind my information here tonight, for Vogelpool fire equipment totaling $3,235.24.
I'll make resolution 41-7-14-20 to purchase nozzles and appliances from Vogelpool Fire Equipment totaling $3,235.24. The township is responsible for 5%. The rest is from the 2019 AFG grant.
I'll second that.
Roll call?
Trustee Sheets?
Yes.
Trustee Hunter?
Yes.
Before I ask for the second resolution, the total of the 2 purchases we're asking for tonight is $9,067.24. So in addition to the 5%, there's going to be a little bit left over. Our total cost for both of these resolutions will be $1,857.75. So there's a little bit more because we ran out of money with the amount of equipment we need to buy. So I just want to make that clear before we pass the second resolution. Second resolution I'd ask for is to purchase hose from Findlay Fire Equipment as listed on the attached quote totaling $5,832.
Make resolution 42-7-14-20 to purchase hose from Findlay Fire Equipment totaling $5,832.
I'll second.
Roll call?
Trustee Sheets?
Yes.
Trustee Hunter?
Yes.
My next request would be for the board to pass a resolution to accept the resignation of part-time firefighter Josh Warren. Josh has found himself needing to spend more time at home with his family and young kids, so he just doesn't have time to dedicate to Pleasant Township. So it has to be removed from the office.
I make resolution 43-7-14-20 to accept the resignation of part-time firefighter Josh Warren. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Roll call?
Trustee Sheets?
Yes.
Trustee Hunter?
Yes.
Trustee Go? Yes.
The next resolution, I would ask the board to pass a resolution to remove following members from the roster due to inactivity. Part-time firefighter Tyler Burleson and Patrick Robinson. Neither have worked in nearly a year.
I'll make resolution 44-7-14-20 to remove the following members from the roster due to inactivity: Tyler Burleson and Patrick Robinson. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Roll call?
Trustee Sheets?
Yes.
Trustee Hunter?
Yes.
Trustee Go? Yes.
The next item I have is a resolution to hire Paul Shambaugh as a part-time firefighter paramedic and Brian Hosea as a part-time firefighter EMT pending driving abstract and drug screen. Both are township residents.
I'll make resolution 45-7-14-20 to hire Paul Shambaugh as a part-time firefighter paramedic pending driving abstract and drug screen. Do I have a second?
Second that.
Roll call?
Trustee Sheets?
Yes.
Trustee Hunter?
Yes.
Trustee Go? Yes. Did you mention both? Did you mention
No, I'm
both?
going to make another resolution for that one. Make resolution 46-7-14-20 to hire Brian Hoza as a part-time firefighter EMT pending driver abstract and drug screening. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Roll call?
Trustee Sheets?
Yes.
Trustee Hunter?
Yes.
Trustee Go? Yes.
And we all, go ahead.
I'm sorry, the last thing I have this evening is the leave donation policy that we need to get approved. I don't know if you want to handle that now or if you want to wait till your business, but underway. It needs to be taken care of tonight.
I have it on here. Are you okay with it? You okay? I'll make resolution 47-7-14-20 to adopt policy and procedure number 104.11, leave donation policy. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Roll call?
Trustee Sheets?
Yes.
Trustee Hunter?
Yes.
Trustee Zip?
And then just a quick COVID update. Currently in Ohio, there's 21,713 active cases. Total cases are 67,995, and with a total of 46,282 recovered. There's 3,069 deaths. Franklin County is currently at a level 3 on the governor's new color map. And as you know, we had an exposure here, and we'll discuss that in executive session. That's not something for an open meeting, but we are looking at our lessons learned from that to tighten up some policies and things like that. So, and then I will need an executive session with the board.
While you're on fire department and resolutions, the injured firefighter from worker comp, once part of the paperwork that we had to fill out was salary continuation, and it's asking for dates. And I looked into the union contract, and the firefighter was supposed to submit a request for that continuation. But then the wording in the contract, it's on a case-by-case basis. So you guys probably need to pass a resolution. So you can need to talk about it in executive session and then deal with it.
Okay. Okay, we'll do that.
Okay.
All right. Anything else?
That's all I have, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Any old business? Okay. New business. Okay, we've been discussing for quite a while now the process of the township notifications to property owners for removal of vegetation, garbage, refuse, and other debris. Presently, the process is done solely by the county. If we start, we must make 2 initial resolutions that will be referenced each time we proceed with a property. So, are you okay with going forward? Okay. Then I will make resolution 48-7-14-20 to adopt the extended resolution for nuisance abatement procedures as provided for in Ohio Revised Code, Section 505.87, regarding vegetation, garbage, refuse, or other debris kept in such a manner that causes damage, annoyance, inconvenience, blight, and/or affects the health, safety, and welfare of adjacent residents or properties.
I'll second that.
Roll call?
Trustee Sheets?
Yes.
Trustee Hunter?
Yes.
Trustee Zip? Yes.
Okay, and the second part of that, I'll make a resolution 49-7-14-20 pursuant to Ohio Revised Code 505.87. The Pleasant Township Board of Trustees have adopted resolution 48-7-14-20. The nuisance procedures. In addition, the board authorizes the administrative staff to determine the owner of record and to notify the owner of record and lien holders for each property as required by the ORC 505.87, subsection B and subsection C. The board authorizes the road superintendent or his designee to remove the nuisance in accordance with ORC 505.87, subsection E for each property when necessary. Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call?
Trustee Sheets?
Yes.
Trustee Hunter?
Yes.
Trustee Zip? Yes.
Okay, that's all I had under new business. Anybody else have anything? Okay. For announcements, reminder that we are having a special meeting Thursdays, July 16th for budget at 7 p.m. And Robert did tell me he will be here for that. So, Paula?
Okay, received some information on the injured worker from the copy of that. Received from CareWorks their quarterly report. Copy of that. I noticed the Planning Commission had a meeting on July 8th. Rural Zoning Commission meeting that was previously scheduled for the 16th was canceled. County Commissioners rezoning hearing scheduled for July 14th was canceled. Flyer from SWACO, information on impact of recycling. Information from the Board of Health on said first West Nile positive mosquito found within Franklin County. Franklin County Soil and Water Program update. SWACO talks about firm to plan a large solar energy facility on site with former county landfill. Worksy, Fire, June 20th, community update from the county auditor's office. Franklin, or the Ohio Department of Job and Family Services, Fire Iris recovery, emergency management. The warning siren was canceled last week. Just an updated list of contacts from Berman Flowers. The July wellness report from Berman Flower. A couple flyers from PRS. An email from ADP talking about adjusted hours, and pretty much everything else has to do with just notifications from the COVID-19.
I had an email from GoDaddy for our email annual amount. I am assuming that they deduct that.
I think that usually gets paid through. You guys haven't you been paying that through the like the charge
Credit card,
Mhm.
probably, yeah.
Okay, here's a copy of this if you want it for your records.
In the mail last night, there was some information. I think it was actually addressed to City of Pleasantville, but our address, but just if any county, city, municipalities, or local government prescription opiate medication cases.
Okay.
That's all I have.
We also had some email about indigent burials that if it was related to COVID, I think can be taken out of that grant money, but this one I looked it up and it was
Oh, I did have a phone call
Not
from
that.
a resident asking about our electric aggregation program. So as far as we know, that's still ongoing. He said he started receiving a lot of phone calls soliciting his business, and he wanted to know if we were still.
I know 3 times I've gotten a call, says this is your local electric company. You are be overcharged and you're entitled to a rebate and a discount on future electric. And then when it says press 1. So I've pressed 1 every time and I can barely understand what they're saying. And I told them I was going to turn them into the PUCO because they shouldn't be calling anybody in that area. Someone like my mother would fall for that. So those calls must be going around.
Yeah, I think I put that phone pass them on to your questions. So.
Okay, anything else, Paula? In looking, trying to sort out things to make sure we do this property abatement thing properly, I was looking at some meetings that the county's having, and I found one last month for the planning commission that, I don't know, maybe you knew about it, at the corner of Johnson and Norton. They're putting in 6 houses, a little subdivision. And I didn't either. I just happened to come across that.
Is that why it's closed? They doing something
No,
like
they're
that?
paving up in Johnson,
okay.
they're paving the end of Johnson
See how they're
and
doing.
also big run south. We found that out by going on around. We're not getting notices from the county, so I don't. I'm not recently. It seems strange to me because normally we get a fax from them with
Yeah,
a list of
Yeah.
people. Have you been getting them?
no, I have not. Well,
So there's some sort of miscommunication up there, or their fax machine isn't working right, or something's going on with the
I
county.
think a lot of it has to do with people working from home as opposed to being in
That,
the
that
offices
might
and
very well
stuff.
be.
That's what the lady told me about that property, calling, making all the phone calls with the, about the grass. It was the lady at the sheriff's real estate division. She said everything is
It's kind of like backlog.
yes, and they're not keeping up with like filing things and,
Big Run is open, but it's not accessible for, they don't want normal people. We can go through there if we need to. It's accessible, but it looks like they're just repaving. We wouldn't even known about, Young Road if Ed hadn't said it. I mean, I can't believe the county doesn't know that Young Road's closed. It seems strange to me, Dave, somebody closes a county road like that, even if it's Swaco doing the work. County has to know about it, and they would send a notice.
I would think they have to know about
I'm
it.
gonna reach out to them tomorrow and see if there's something going on with their notices, because it's not getting them.
Okay.
I get tons of them from Madison County. But
Okay, anything else? Anybody in the audience have anything?
Did you guys already talk about the property that you?
No, that was not on the agenda for tonight. It tentatively, it's going to be at the next meeting.
Next meeting?
28,
Were you here at the last one?
Know anything about it?
Yeah, the attorney for that business at Stoll and Denton came to the last meeting, and I did in a few emails let people know that he is not required to do that. He just came just to find out what neighbors are thinking and to tell us what he was doing. And so he came up with 20, he said 21 questions from that meeting that he wanted to get answers for to bring back to our meeting, and he didn't have all those answered. That's why he's not here tonight.
So the.
Yes. Okay. All right. Anything else? And that meeting will probably, we anticipate to be pretty large, so it'll be outside in the bay and all the doors open, social distancing. All right. Okay, we need to have an executive session requested by the chief. I move to go into executive session according to Ohio Revised Code, section 121.22 G1 for the purpose of personnel. Do I have a second?
second,
Roll call?
Trustee Sheets?
Yes.
Trustee Hunter?
Yes.
yes.
Go ahead.
Ready, Paul?
Whoops. Yes, I'm gonna- Sorry.
You're okay.
Any of the presentations.
Ready? Under the Ohio Revised Code, Section 121.22G, I move to come out of executive session. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Roll call?
Trustee Sheets?
Yes.
Trustee Hunter?
Yes.
Trustee
Yes.
I will make a resolution 50-7-14-20 to approve a salary continuation for an injured worker from the time period of June 10th, 2020 to July 25th, 2020.
I'll second that.
Roll call?
Trustee Sheets?
Yes.
Trustee Hunter?
Yes.
Trustee
Yes.
Anything else? Anything else, Paula?
No, I was just thinking there was another resolution.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Roll call?
Trustee Sheets?
Yes.
Trustee Hunter?
Yes.
Trustee Good.
Yes.
Meeting adjourned at 8:40.